Movie reviews. Okay, so Hamilton is out on Disney Plus, and for the past few years, I have refused to believe that it could possibly be as good as people made it out to be. And turns out it is pretty much just that good. I know I'm late to the party, and it's hard to talk about this as a movie review, but I'm going to do my best, especially because a lot of people are considering it to be a movie. But what this is a recording of the original Broadway show with the original cast from, I think it was like 2015. Alright, just corrected myself, 2016, but you get the point. One thing about this being a recorded Broadway show now being turned into a movie is the Oscar conversation, which it officially is not eligible for Oscars, which I actually very much support, especially since it won so many Tonys when it came out. But it does really walk that fine line of, is it a movie? Yes, but it wasn't really like made to be a movie. Like, there was a director, and yes, they reshot some things, and there's a lot of interesting camera work being done here, but this is a Broadway show. This was meant to be seen live, and I think that's what it should qualify for awards. The plot on IMDb reads: the real life of one of America's foremost founding fathers and first Secretary of the Treasury, Alexander Hamilton, captured live on Broadway from the Richard Rodgers Theater with the original Broadway cast. You get the point. It's a musical about Alexander Hamilton, from very early on in his political career all the way up until his death, and it pretty much hits every single point, at least every interesting point of his life. Now, I will say there were historical inaccuracies that I did pick up, and after watching this and doing some research, seeing a lot of other ones, but I think that's kind of beside the point, because you almost expect that with any sort of movie or theater production or pretty much any medium that's going to take a historical figure and do it for a dramatic purpose. But besides those few minor issues, it really does tell this full story, and it is so fascinating to see history being told in this modern way. One of the interesting ways that it is done is that there's really no white characters in this. Even though the founding fathers were white, this is supposed to be a version of the future of America, and I think it is such a powerful tool that they had just all these different types of people playing white historical figures. Then there's the music, which again is something I should have paid attention to years ago, but now listening to it now, I can't stop listening to it. It's very modern. There's a lot of spoken word involved with it, and really the whole thing is treated like an opera. Like, there's no actual speaking lines in this whole musical, but the way they do it isn't just like this cheesy lines that they're singing to explain what they're doing, but it is spoken word to the beat of the music that's constantly going. It's incredible, and if you see the types of records that they have broke for theater, there's some people who I believe like get 19 words out within 3 seconds. It's very fast paced, and I would heavily encourage you to watch this with subtitles because you will miss a lot. And for that reason, I think it's definitely worth a rewatch, and even listening to the soundtrack after watching the movie, there are things that I'm catching in lyrics that I'm noticing for the first time, and it's very impactful. The wordplay is just phenomenal, and I think even just reading the lyrics, you get this sense that there was so much effort put into the writing of this whole production. I will say, and this might get me in trouble, but I think my least favorite part probably was Lin-Manuel Miranda. Maybe I'm just still bitter at him from Mary Poppins, but honestly, like, it's not bad, but I think he like set the bar, and then everyone else just like exceeded it. Like, he does a great job, he's very talented, and clearly he wrote this thing, but I think like his performance, I just, like, if I'm looking at him as a talented person, I wouldn't point out, like, his singing or his performance to be the most talented part about him. Leslie Odom Jr., though, stole the show from me. Every single time he sang, it was a powerful performance, and it just couldn't get any better. Other notable people that I absolutely loved, Daveed Diggs, every single thing he does is amazing. Renée L.C. Goldsberry, I'm going to butcher that completely, but she just kills it in one of the most incredible rap performances I've ever seen. Jonathan Groff, who plays this just clumsy fictional version of King George. The one complaint I do have is that it's a little long, being at 2 hours and 40 minutes, and there's a lot packed in, so I don't even know what you would cut, but it's just like, it kind of reaches that point where I start to lose my attention span by the end of it. But besides that, this is just incredible. Like, I really have very little negative things to say about this musical. There's so many fun little Easter eggs and references, and it's going to be something I'm going to watch over and over again and just catch just new things every single time. It is like watching a piece of art that you know is going to stand the test of time. There are very few moments when you watch something and you're like, yes, this is going to go down the history books. This is going to be something that we talk about, and this is going to be a defining moment of art of the decade. and that is Hamilton right now. My final score, I'm going to give it an 85 out of 100. I don't know how I'm going to rank this at the end of the year because I don't feel like I can justify counting this as a movie, which is also weird that I'm putting a Broadway musical review on this channel, but whatever, you should go watch it. As always, if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button for more content like this. Leave a like on this video. Comment below, what did you like about Hamilton? As always, I'll see you next time.